Hello, hello, everybody. It says I'm live, so here we are. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Melissa Faust. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Minnesota, which is in the United States. And today I'm really excited to have you join me. So go ahead and comment, say hi, let me know you're here. And let's go ahead and get started. So today's live should be pretty quick-ish. And I'm going to show how to make this super fun Party Puffins and Give It a Whirl Die card. So I'm going to show you here. So right here in the top, it says make a wish. And when you spin this wheel over to the right, it says you're the best. And then it says to someone who makes others happy. So super, super fun set here. I just love both these dies and also the adorable puffins. I love the puffins. So I wanted to show you in the catalog here real quick. Page 67 is where you'll find those cute puffins. And let's see if I've got this remembered here. I believe it is on, page 57 is where you'll see those Give It a Whirl dies in use. And in a few weeks, I'm going to share a cute card with this Stellar Birthday cute little astronaut set here. Next week, though, I'm going to share a card with the turtle set because next Sunday, May 23rd, is World Turtle Day, and turtles are my favorite animal, so next week's card will feature a cute Turtle Friends card for you. So I hope you'll join me then as well. But I just wanted to talk a little bit for a second to get people, let people find me and join me here. So I am going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to keep this card off to the side so you can see it as I go here. And what I've got here is a basic white card base. This is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, scored in half this way at 4 1/4. Okay, so that is going to be our card base there. And then I've also got, whoops, things are falling on me. There we go. I've also got this piece of the Pattern Party Host DSP, and I'm going to show you here what you would do to cut everything out. I did go ahead and do everything because the where my camera is, it gets a little shaky like that. And if I did my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine on this table, it would shake a lot. So I went ahead and just cut everything out today. So I'm going to bring in the Give It a Whirl dies here. And so this piece of Pattern Party, this is a pool party piece. Pattern Party, pool party, say that 5 times fast. But this measured, here actually I have the piece. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. This measured 4 inches by 6 inches. Okay, so then what I did is I took this rectangle piece with this notch right here, and I went ahead and I lined it up closer to the bottom. And the reason I did that is because I want to use this top piece later for the inside of the card. So I went ahead and I ran that through my die cutting machine. And then what I did is I took this cute rectangle here and I went ahead and I lined this up here so that these holes met. Can you see that right there? Those hole that it's got a little hole right there, if you can kind of see that. And I went ahead and made sure they lined up and made this flush with the top and the sides here. And I went ahead and die cut that. Now that's going to be the window for the really cool wheel that's coming up here. So I'm going to set that to the side again, and we'll bring it back out in just a little bit. And then what I did is I had a piece. Oh, where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so then I had a piece of normal basic white, the regular thickness there, and it was attached like this, and I cut it at 5 1/4 inches this way, and then I cut a piece at 4 inches, and that's going to be for the inside of the card. But with that leftover piece there, I went ahead and took this wheel die, and I cut it out of the paper there, and then I saved the rest of this because I'm going to be stamping my puffin on there. So this is for that, but that is how you cut it out. And there are a few fun window options here. So you've got like this piece here, you've got a circle, a heart, and this stitched rectangle, which is what I used. But you've also got fun stars, clouds, things that you could mix and match with other cards as well, even this banner piece that you wouldn't even have to use with the Give It a Whirl dies here. So I'm going to set that off to the side, and we're going to go ahead and start assembling. So I'm going to bring in my wheel here. And then, like I said, I'm using the cute Party Puffins. And the stamps I'm using here are Make a Wish, You're the Best, and To Someone Who Makes Others Happy. And I'm going to stamp all of these in the Highland Heather ink. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. And what I want to do here is you can kind of see on this piece that they've got like indents here, and that helps you to be able to line each of the 3 pieces up just so it looks you know, everything gets lined up when you stamp it down. So I'm inking up this Make-A-Wish here, and I'm gonna keep this where it's right about like this line here is pretty straight. And then we'll go ahead and stamp that down like so. Then I'll pivot and stamp down to someone who makes others happy. And you could do these in any order you want. And you also could do pictures if you wanted to, which is super cool. This set has been so fun to work with already. And I know it's going to have a lot more fun things. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and move my ink pad to the side for now and move these guys as well. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back in this piece here. Whoops, everything's fallen today. All right, so I've got this piece here. You can see there again, the brad isn't in there yet, but that's how it looks. And then when you spin the wheel, it'll rotate. So I've got a cute little, oh, hello, Alicia. Yeah, isn't this die set so fun? And thanks for leaving me a comment. I love to see that you guys are here live. So this little cute round black brad is from our new brad set, which is called the round and square brads. And in here you've got black and white, and you've got these fun square ones, as well as that circular one. So I'm going to go ahead and use the circular one, and that's because I'm using the matte black dots, and so I think it kind of blends in well. So I'm going to poke this through this hole, grab this guy and poke that through as well. There we go. And then we'll go ahead, whoops, it's laying down on me. There we go. We'll go ahead and get that all down into place. And you can see this side of the paper is really fun too. And don't you worry, because we're going to use it. I love to show off both sides of the designer series paper, and that is just such a fun side as well. So again, I'm going to move that to the corner for just a second. And now what I'm going to do is bring in my foam adhesive strips. Now, the very first card I made with this die set, I used our normal dimensionals, and I found that they just weren't quite thick enough. So for this one, actually, and I need to grab some dimensionals here. Let me sneak in my drawer, and I'll show you too. So what we've got is, this is how thick those strips are, and this is how thick the dimensionals are. So you can see that there's quite a difference. These foam strips are way thicker. So that's what I like to use. I find it's just easier to get your finger in there to wheel that around. And I used 2 strips for this card. And I was pretty generous with my offering. There's just a little bit that I used on another project, but we're going to use it for the cute fish, because why not? So I've peeled off that whole strip there, and I'm going to go ahead and lay it down on this top edge. You want to make sure you don't cover this wheel at all, otherwise it won't turn. So you just take your snips there, go ahead and cut that off. And again, like I said, I'm being pretty generous with the amount that I'm going to use here. So snip again, so we've got it on the top and bottom. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this piece down on the side here. And again, making sure it's not going to cover that wheel anywhere. All right, we'll pull up another piece here. There we go. Oh, that little bit keeps flying all over the place. All right, so again, we'll go ahead and line this up on this side and use our snips to make it smaller. Yep, I thought I almost got it in the way there, but I didn't. Crisis averted. All right, and then we'll put just a little piece here. And another one over here. When you use dimensionals and things, do you put it everywhere, or are you kind of sparing with where you use them? I'm a little bit in between. Sometimes I use it, like put them everywhere. Like this card, I think I use a lot more than I usually do. But there's all those pieces there, all right? So I'm going to bring in my card base again, and I'm going to go ahead and get this folded using my bone folder here to give it a nice crease. I always like to do that because I think it helps it to lay flatter. And I like it when they're pretty flat. All right, so now we're going to peel off all these backings. Alicia, I'm glad to see too that you got the live chat to work this time. It was weird that it wasn't working for you last time, but glad you figured it out. You use a lot? Yeah. I don't know. They're pretty cheap, so I feel like you really can get them, you know, get a good use out of them. And then if you use the sides too, you make sure you use up that whole sheet. So dimensionals are fun. I think they really add a lot to your card. Okay, so all the backing is off there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. Now, this is not going to be fully, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little bit closer to the edge this way than it is this way. So it's not going to be like a full normal mat for you there, but it still looks cute. So it still works great. So there we go. There we've got our cute little spinny wheel. Super fun. So now what I've got is I've got my basic black Stampin' Right marker here, and I am going to use this smaller bullet point end, and I'm going to draw in just a cute little arrow here, just so that the recipient knows, hey, spin this thing. There we go, just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And there are some arrows in the die set too, if you wanted to try those out. So super, super cute. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and do the puffins, or the singular puffin, I should say. So I've got my scrap piece in here, and what I would normally do is use our Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. However, this time I'm going to use some embossing powder, and you can see that there, it's a little bit shiny. There we go, you can see the shine there. And the reason I wanted to do this is because Stampin' Up! Just brought back our black embossing powder. So I've got my embossing buddy here. Unfortunately, Stampin' Up! Does not sell this anymore, which is a huge bummer. But if you've still got one, you can go ahead and use it. It just removes any static there when you do the embossing powder, so it doesn't stick where you don't want it to. So now I've got my Versamark here, and I've got the cute little puffin. We're going to go ahead and ink him up in the Versamark. Stamp him down, and before we're done, we're going to grab the cute little fish too. And it might be hard to see on the camera, but I can see where that puffin is, so I'm just making sure I don't stamp over the top of him. All right, so there's our Versamark with those guys. And then I've got this Tupperware container. I think it's a little bit easier to use your embossing powders when it's in a Tupperware container than it is in the containers they come with. Just find it a little bit easier to spread it out. And then I've just got a disposable spoon here that I use for all of my embossing powders. Get that over the top and we'll tap it off. And you can see that looks good, but there's a little spot missing, so I am going to go right back over it. Like so. And then we'll go ahead and close this up before it becomes a mess. There we go. And we'll move it to the side. And now I'm going to bring in my heat tool here. And this is pretty loud, so I won't talk while this is on just to make sure you don't miss anything. But we're going to go ahead and heat these up. So here we go. There we go. So if you don't have our heat tool, you could also use like a hair dryer. That would work too. I know some people heat from the top. I always heat from the bottom, just like Alicia just said. I always heat from the bottom, and I don't know. I think that's just how I learned. So I always do it from the bottom, and I think it also just helps me to be able to see where I'm going. I think I get a little bit too nervous that I'm going to like dab the heat tool into the stamp itself. But yeah, I always do it from the back, and I don't know why. All right, so now we've got some coloring to do, just a little bit here. So if you're not a huge colorer, this is just a little bit. So I've got my Pale Papaya blends here. This is the dark one, and I'm going to color in his feet and his little beak here. Seriously, I think these puffins are like stupid cute. They're so cute. Now I'm going to use the light Pale Papaya, and we're going to go ahead and color the fish. And I love how this small puffin looks like his hands are open, like waiting for a gift too. And then how this fish has a cute little bow on it. I think that's just so cute. All right, then I'm going to use my dark Highland Heather blends here. Color in that bow. Here we go. All right. We'll move the blends off to the side, and now comes one of my least favorite things in the world, which is fussy cutting. Tell me, are you a fussy cutter? Do you like it? Sometimes I'm okay with it. Sometimes I'm just really not a huge fan. Alicia, you're going to try it? That's awesome. I also heard recently I was watching another video, and I heard that the host of that video takes a piece of cardboard and she put aluminum foil on it and then like clasped it together with like a binder clip. And when she heat embosses, she puts the piece that she's embossing down on there, clips it in with that binder clip, and then she heats it from the front, but it still gets that aluminum foil hot on the back. And she said it works well because I know sometimes when you do like bigger images, like it kind of warps a little. So that's what she had said that she does. I've never tried that, but that's what I want to try next. I think it sounds pretty clever. Alicia, you said no. Is that to fussy cutting? You don't like fussy cutting? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I actually have a Brother scan and cut machine that I use most of the time. But today, I will fussy cut for you guys. And this isn't much to fussy cut. If I ever had a lot to fussy cut, I would probably do a lot of it in advance. But the way I do like to fussy cut is to keep my scissors in one place and I just kind of rotate the paper a little. And I think that just makes it a little bit easier. It's just not my favorite. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, no. I've been doing it more and more recently, but I swear, I think every stamp set needs dies. Or almost every stamp set should have dies with it. There we go. Look, that wasn't bad at all. All right. So here's our cute little puffin and fish. So we'll bring back in that card here. And then I've got this piece. And now this piece was what was cut out of this window, okay? And I thought, I'm not going to recycle this. I'm going to use it, which I guess is still recycling it, but you know what I mean. I do actually make recycled paper with my paper scraps, which is really cool. But instead of doing that with this piece, I decided I'm going to use it. So I put some seal on the back. And then I'm just going to go ahead and line it up at the bottom. Again, I'm making sure it lines up with the side and the bottom to the best of my ability. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my dimensionals and I'll pop up this puffin. There we go. And we will lay him right on the top here, like so. And then we've got our cute little fish. And like I said, I had this extra piece from my foam adhesive strips from a different project that I was working on. So to use that up, I'm just going to use that on the fish. Whoops, I pulled the whole thing off. How did that happen? There we go. And I'm going to put that cute little fish in his hands. So cute, you guys. Look at how fun this is. And it's so easy to make. Once you have everything die cut, it's just so quick. So we'll finish up the front here. We still have to do the inside, but we'll do these matte black dots. If you've been around for a little bit, you know these are my favorite things in the world. I love these embellishments. I'm so glad they're in this annual catalog. I hope they never go away. So there's a big one there. And I use the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool. This tool is like a lifesaver. It just does so many different things. And there we go. So that's the whole front of the card. Isn't that amazing how fast that came together? So now we just have to do the inside here. And so to do the inside, I've got my piece of basic white here. And I'm going to stamp the happy birthday. So here's again what the inside will look like. And I'm going to stamp it first because if I mess it up, then I can turn it over and use the other side. So I've got Highland Heather back in here. You just bought the pick tool and you can't get the putty to work. Oh no. Okay, so what I do is I use mine for a really long time. You can see it's pretty flat. So I'm going to pull that off. Okay, so starting new. Whoops, wrong way. We'll get it to start here. I will admit it is a little bit like you have to learn how to do it, I guess. But you can see it's kind of like that. I always flatten mine and I find it to work a lot better at picking those things up. So try that out. Try to just like squeeze out a little bit and flatten it with your finger. See if that helps you out. And if it doesn't, let me know, because we're going to get to the bottom of this because it's amazing. I don't even remember how I put embellishments on before. I think I used my scissors. But all right, so Happy Birthday is inked up here. And because this is a cling mount, it's a little bit hard to tell if you got it straight, but the nature of this stamp is all over the place, so it's all right. Mom, you love that tool? I know, I had to buy her one because she kept watching me use mine and she was like, I want that. I said, okay, fine. I'll put it in my next order. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to put it to the side for just a second. And we'll grab the trimmer out. And as I mentioned before, I use this scrap here, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and just line this up. And I'll tell you, this is about, oh my gosh, it's such a weird measurement. I'm going to put it right here, and that is at the 5/8 inch mark. Okay, but you can, move your DSP wherever you want to make it work for you. So line it up wherever you want. And there we go. So I've got this piece all ready to go. And I'm going to use this side because I think it's really awesome. So we'll put some seal on there and line it up with the bottom of this card here. And if you remember, this DSP strip was 4 inches long, which is the same as the inside piece of our card. So there we go. It's all lined up at the bottom, so we can add our adhesive to the back of this panel. There we go. And we'll put it on the inside of the card. And my friends, we're all done with the card. So look at how fun that is. I'll show it again so you can spin it. These are just super, super fun birthday cards. So much fun. So there's both of our cards there. I did want to tell you too. Thanks, Alicia. I love it too. I wanted to tell you, as a thank you for being here live tonight, you get to be the first to know. But tomorrow, or actually maybe even tonight, if I have time to work on it after I end this video, I am going to be launching a Party Puffins class. Yes, I'm so excited. I designed the cards last week and I love them. My mom also approves because I showed her and she loved them too. So I'm going to be launching that cute Party Puffins class. There will be an option for if you already own the stamp set or if you don't, which is awesome. And you know what else I'm going to include in there? Matte black dots, because they're the best. So that is going to be so much fun. And so you can look for information on my website about that tonight. I think I'll be able to get it up there pretty soon here. So it's all ready. I just have to write up the page on my website and then hit publish. So super, super fun. But thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button on this video. That helps me out on YouTube. And also, if you're new, you can go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That helps me out. But thank you again so much for watching. So again, next week, next Sunday, I'll be doing a fun card using the turtles. The week after that, I'll use the cute little astronauts from Stellar Birthday. And that card is so fun. Actually, whoops, here's a little sneak peek of that one that's in 2 weeks. So super, super fun. I don't have a sneak peek of the turtles down here in my craft room. So you'll have to wait to see that. In the meantime, make sure you are following me on Facebook and Instagram. And you can see some really awesome cards being posted all week long. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday and a great start to your week. Bye.